All Christians are called to share in God's mission to the world, and that's an exciting responsibility that we have, to see what God is doing, the way that He's building His kingdom, and to try and work with Him there. And you know, Baptists have a great tradition of having such a commitment to evangelism. They take the Great Commission seriously, to go into all the world and preach the gospel and make disciples. And European Baptists are part of that. And today it's still a joy, but it's also a challenge in many places. But I'm so encouraged as I travel around the EBF. I think of some of the most secular countries in Europe. For instance, in Estonia. In Estonia, in the city of Tartu, there is a wonderful youth church called 3D, where the young people themselves have taken the initiative to reach out to their friends with the gospel, and they've created this wonderful church which they run themselves, of course with some help from others in the union when they need it. But that 3D church is really speaking a lot about the gospel in that situation. I think of some of the difficult places in the EBF, the country of Azerbaijan, for instance, where they have a lot of problems with religious freedom, and particularly the Azeri people in Azerbaijan are quite often experience pressure and persecution, and yet that community is really growing under God's grace. And it was great a few years ago to go and meet with some young people who are so committed to the gospel. And then, of course, we think of the Middle East and the gospel growing in difficult situations there. The way the Lebanese Baptists are reaching out to Syrian refugees, and some of those refugees are coming and saying, "Why are you doing this? Can we know more about this Jesus Christ that you believe in?" So these are just some of the ways in which I see God at work. Of course, there are other places where the way is hard, and often we feel the gospel's falling on very stony ground. But we need to encourage one another in the EBF, really to have this commitment to support and encourage one another in mission, to open ourselves to new ways of mission sometimes, not just the old ways, and to really sense, what is God doing among us today? How can we get involved? And then just be open to the future.